Hey, Grand Rising, however you want to greet me. My name is Dean, the Wealth Coach, your go-to guy here. Today is a bit of this morning, it's a bit about self-reflection, about myself, and maybe you're going through something as well. How often do you self-reflect? Last night while journaling, I was just writing down a lot of my thoughts and ideas. Even this morning, I was journaling, writing down my thoughts and ideas, and it was very therapeutic because it just unloaded so much. And what came to mind for me was I don't know if you guys noticed, but my content, like the whole of June, every day I was posting post. Now some may say that leads to burnout. For me, it wasn't burnout. It was kind of, I was watching the numbers instead of just focusing on what I enjoy doing, which is creating content. And I like creating content for two reasons. It allows me to show my creativity, and it also allows me to educate a large number of people in one shot. Like I don't have to just like be there like talking to individual people, because that's something that I used to do all the time. And I was like, you know what? I use less energy if I can get onto a platform where I can speak to masses. Funny, because one of my friends, they sent me something from Instagram that this comedian was talking about Google. Like Google didn't exist when I grew up. And it just seems so weird saying it. It's like, yeah, we didn't have Google when we grew up. And that was just something that was very funny to me. But what I noticed was I was watching the numbers for like YouTube. Like every day I'm like looking at it. I was like, why am I focusing on the numbers? The numbers don't matter. It's the consistency piece that I'm striving for. Forget about the numbers, just focus on the consistency. I was like going through some other pages, just like randomly seeing stuff, and TED Talk popped up. TED Talk has 4 million subscribers. I only have 1,400. And one of their like latest posts, maybe I think it was a day or two old, maybe 3 weeks at most, and they only had like 700 views. And I was like, whoa, like such a big channel like this only has 700 views on this video. And when I like really deep dived into their past videos, they have a lot of videos that are like under 2,000, under 1,000 on their page. And it just made me say to myself, you know what, Dean? Stop focusing on the numbers. Focus on delivering the value. Focus on becoming a better speaker. Focus on what it is that you want to educate people about. And hi, how you doing? I'm doing well. So focus on you, not what social media is telling you or nothing. And that's where a lot of people get bogged up, because they're focusing on, oh, nobody's watching my views, or nobody's watching my stuff. How come nobody's commenting? How come nobody's following? Over time, things will happen. And I had to remind myself, Dean, you're an apple seed. You planted your seed. Now you have to nurture it. You nurture it on a daily basis. You water it. You give it sunlight. Give it the proper soil, the nutrients. And that you have to continuously do day in and day out if you want to see growth. Consistency is like watering your plant daily. Those are the things that I need to focus on. Once I have my topics, I just keep going and going. And this morning, or even last night, I was watching I think his name's Sean Connell from Think Media. And he's just teaching people how to get your first 1,000 subscribers. And if you're trying to get your first 1,000 subscribers, listen very closely to this. Yo, it's so simple. Like, you'll be like, damn, why didn't I think of that? And somebody also told me this before, like in a marketing thing to find topics to talk about. Google and YouTube search is your best friend. If you type in whatever it is that you want to talk about or create content for, it gives you a whole bunch of things that you can utilize. Like, for example, if you type in stocks and then you type the letter A, it gives you everything that will pop up for stocks, and then whatever pops up after that. And then the next thing that you could do is B. If you use the whole alphabet, it will give you a whole bunch of different things, ideas that you can do, the whole bunch of things that you can talk about. So I started doing that yesterday. And so many things popped up for me. I was like, oh, I can talk about this stuff. So then I won't have a brain fart next time when I'm ready to create content. So literally, if you go through the whole alphabet, type in whatever keyword, A before, A after, you have 52 different 52 different ways to find topics to talk about. And you just build off of that. So when I started doing that, I was like, okay, I have a bunch of content now that I can talk about. And you want to be resourceful. Like, you don't need resources, you just need to learn to be resourceful. Make do with what you have. I keep saying that, but it's like sometimes I just forget for myself when I'm telling others. It's easy to tell other people, but when it comes for you doing it for yourself, it's like you just don't know what to do. Sorry about all the bumps. Like, the road's like really bumpy. They're doing a lot of construction over here. It's like never-ending construction in Canada. They say we have 2 seasons, winter and construction season, and right now it's construction season. We don't actually have summer, as they say. But going back to what I was saying, I have so much different topics that I can now talk about. And another thing that I learned, especially with YouTube, is start with your thumbnail and your title first, and then the video content will just flow after. When you do it the other way around, it makes it much more difficult to create the thumbnail and title, because you're kind of like capped as to what it is that you can create. So I'm going to be working on my thumbnails and titles first before creating the actual videos, because once you have a killer thumbnail and title, you won majority of the battle. For advertising, YouTube videos, even content creation, 80%, there's the 80-20 rule. So 80-20 is 20% of the effort you put out leads to 80% of the results. People click, or people they're caught by your thumbnail. They see the title that makes them think and makes them want to click. Once they click, you literally have anywhere from like 3 to 5 seconds to hook that person. If you don't hook that person, you lose them. If you can get them up to like 30 seconds, then you kind of got them, because now they feel like they're attached and they have to watch like the rest of the video, or the majority of it, at least, if it makes sense, right? So that's something that you can do. That's something that you can do to help with creating content, whatever it is, even for ads. So that's something that I learned yesterday, and I want to share that with you guys. So if you're a YouTube creator, start with your thumbnail, your title, and then your hook. Once you got those 3 things in place, then you're good to go. So that's just some of my advice for today. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to come back on here later on, like maybe in an hour, to do stock talk. And I'm going to be talking about the stocks that I'm watching, stocks that are pretty much moving the market right now, and some tips on how you can start building your wealth through the stock market. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to share.